Hello, Northeast Michigan. This is Carter Landis, WBKB. Thank you for joining us today. And also joining us today is Michigan's Lieutenant Governor Garlin Gilchrist II. Mr. Gilchrist, how are you today? Welcome to Alpena.
I'm doing great. It's good to be back here in Northern Michigan and Northeast Michigan in particular.
All right, so today we are talking about the budget investments to the Make It in Michigan strategy and how they can help Northern Michigan. So for those of you who don't know, what is Make It in Michigan, and what are these budget adjustments?
Governor Whitmer and I want everyone who is currently in Michigan and everyone who can be a future Michigan resident to know that Michigan is the best place to live, to work, to play, and that anyone can make it in Michigan. And our plan to help make sure everyone feels that is to make a set of investments in people, investments in placements, and investments in projects so that we can have jobs created, that people can be their best selves, and they can do all that in Michigan. So as part of that, the budget that we just finished, that the legislature just passed on a bipartisan basis, makes a number of investments in this area on record-setting funding in education, to having free school breakfast and lunch for every child, continuing to invest in creating economic opportunity and jobs and affordable housing in communities, and making sure that college is more affordable and that people can go to community college tuition free if they're 21 or older, but also the Michigan Achievement Scholarship, which will make 4 out of 5 graduating high school seniors are going to qualify for a college scholarship as a result of being able to go to college, possibly tuition free. So this is something that's really going to make a difference so that people can see that they can make it in the state of Michigan.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit more about why it's important to invest in our great state of Michigan.
Well, we have amazing places. We are blessed with beautiful, just majestic natural resources to steward. And it's important that we invest in all our places and invest in all of our people. So for the governor and I, working with this legislature, we're really proud of what that's meant. That's meant the kinds of infrastructure investments that can not only keep the roads safe and smooth, but can also invest in protecting those natural resources and making sure we have clean and renewable energy so they can be with us for centuries to come, as well as, though, making sure that Michigan can be the most competitive state we can be possibly. We have, over the last several years, gotten a lot of money from the federal government that we have turned around and invested in communities. And, we've invested record amounts of money in Northern Michigan in particular. Things like, for here in Alpena, we got the redevelopment and placemaking program called the RAP grant program. So $4 million went here to Alpena through that program. We also have invested in a number of small businesses through the Main Street Initiative through the MEDC. And we've also helped with the downtown Alpena planning process with almost $20,000 grant. And so the state wants to make sure that this is an amazing place, that we have a plan for the future, for growth. I've been able to visit some of our small businesses here in the community, and I'm really excited about what I see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I found a couple of the elements of that Make It in Michigan strategy intriguing. Specifically, as you were mentioning, the downtown communities, the Main Street, we want to make that a little bit more vibrant. Alpena's downtown has grown exponentially in the past couple of years, and they're still continuing to look to even expand it even more. What have you noticed about Alpena's downtown, and what are some of the benefits that a growing downtown can bring?
I've been to downtown Alpena a couple times a year, every year I've been in office. And so actually being able to see the growth and see the transformation, projects that I walked through with entrepreneurs, and they said, well, if I could only be able to secure this building, I know what I would create, to going all the way now, having those projects come to fruition with new restaurants opening and new apartment units being built. It's really what we want to see happen in communities across the state of Michigan, communities that are large and communities that are small, communities that are rural and communities that are urban. And so I think Alpena has been a model, and for this being sort of the anchor of Northeast Lower Michigan, I know that other communities are paying attention and taking note and want to sort of understand what Alpena has learned so they can benefit and emulate it.
So Alpena's sort of been a fixture in that way.
Absolutely, and I'll use another example of how Alpena has been a fixture, and that is Alpena Community College, a really important anchor institution in the region. I was there this morning with President McMaster touring through the nursing program, and the innovative partnership that they have formed with Saginaw Valley State University, for example, for those nursing students like the ones who I met this morning, who are now on a pathway to get not only their 2-year degree from Alpena, but then also a 4-year degree in nursing from SVSU, which is also and runs in parallel with the Bachelor's in Nursing program at Alpena Community College. This is addressing an important need in the community, which is the fact that we need more nursing professionals in Northern Michigan across the board. So to have this amazing institution, training them with state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-art equipment, really trained and well-trained and well-supported faculty and staff, that's going to lead to making our quality of life even higher in this region because they'll have better health outcomes.
Absolutely, yeah, and the nursing shortage is also, that's been another issue. It's not just even in the state of Michigan, but nationwide as well, and I mean, it could start right here.
That's right. The students that I met today, they were excited to go into this profession. They all had a personal story about why they chose nursing. Some of them, it was because they had a family member who was a nurse. Some because they had a family member who had been sick and was cared for either at home or in a facility or in a hospital by nurses who they respected. And they wanted to go into that field to provide that, pathway to better outcomes for someone else. And so that unselfishness is something that we want to support. That's the spirit of people we have here in the state of Michigan who want to do something for someone else, who are willing to make a personal sacrifice in order to help someone's lives be better, or someone's days be better. And so we want to reward and support those professionals.
Absolutely. Another element of the strategy that I noticed is that you're is aspiring to invest more into housing. And there has been, it's been a growing concern here in Northeast Michigan. How can those budget investments alleviate some of that concern?
So this is a big priority for our administration. It's been a big priority for me since 2019, since coming into office. And just in the budget that we just passed, there's an additional $50 million for affordable housing at the state level, which is built on top of the $250 million that we've invested in it over our first 4 years in office. So what it speaks to is the fact that we know that we need more housing that's affordable, and we need to create the kind of jobs so that more people can afford housing in their communities. We need to build more housing. We need to be able to renovate more housing. We need more people to develop housing that's affordable, and that maybe some people want single family homes, some people want apartments, some people want condos. It needs to be flexible. We need housing that's seasonal for our workforce, for our rural communities and our farm workers. We need housing that can just meet people where they are for the construction that we want to do with all the development that we want to see in the community for these projects. And so the state's going to continue to invest aggressively. We've invested more in housing than we have in the last 70 years here and just in the last 5. And we're going to continue to do more. And we hope that that pulls down to more private investment as well for private developers to see that it makes sense to build in this vibrant and growing community here in Alpena.
Absolutely. And another one, childcare. That was another one that caught my eye. I've covered this issue extensively, and I've talked to people who say they can't get to their jobs because they have to stay home with their children. And there's what I think I would kind of call, it's sort of like an economical snowball effect when it comes to that. So if you could just tell me about how those investments can alleviate that problem as well.
It's a big deal. I have a baby girl who just turned 4, and so she is in childcare still. She'll be starting kindergarten in the fall. But we've made a number of investments over the last few years. So just in this past budget that the legislature approved, we actually are now putting the state on a path to universal pre-K for all 4-year-olds. That'll be available to everyone in Michigan over the next 4 years. And that's going to save families a ton of money because childcare is expensive. Everyone that has a kid in daycare knows that. And we're talking $10,000 potentially of savings for a family at a time when stuff is so expensive. And then over our whole tenure, we've invested hundreds of millions of dollars to stabilize childcare facilities so they didn't have to close and they could expand or renovate their facilities. We started a program I launched called Caring for My Future, which was an effort to open 1,000 new sustainable childcare facilities in the state of Michigan over 2 years. We've already opened more than 600 in 14 months, so ahead of schedule to meet this fact that for every childcare facility in the state is waitlist, and they usually have wait lists that are bigger than their current capacity. And so we need more. We need more professionals to be trained and able to work in these environments. We need to support our providers more. And so we're looking to do that because nothing unlocks parental and community productivity and peace of mind like having a safe, affordable, convenient place for kids to go where they will be loved on, where they will be prepared to learn, to be early readers, to be supported. That's what we need in our communities for them to thrive.
Yeah, I would think that, when I mentioned that economical snowball effect, I think once those changes start to be implemented, it could go in the other direction and things could grow in a more positive.
Yeah, whatever the opposite of a snowball is, we can get that.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, just to wrap up today, this bipartisan budget, as you mentioned it's passed, has not been signed yet. What's next for the budget, and if everything goes to plan, what does it look like here in Northeast Michigan down the line?
So the budget has come through the legislature, and so now there's a process of things literally being printed and organized so that they can be sent to the governor's desk to be able to be signed, and that will happen in the coming weeks, and we're very excited about that and what that means for this region. It's going to mean a continued demonstration that the growth and future of the state of Michigan, something that this Make It in Michigan budget is laser focused on, that growth is going to in part come through Northeast Michigan. People will be able to see and experience and understand how amazing a place this is to live and can be with the continued investment that we hope to make working with our local partners. And so I spent time up here with entrepreneurs, with people who are making the kinds of businesses that are making the communities of Northeast Michigan attractive. And so we're going to continue to make those investments, and we're excited to see where it comes.
All right, well, thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, for taking some time. Thank you for making the trip up here, and thank you at home for tuning in. This is Carter Landis from WBKB signing off. Have a great day.